Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge info session for 2025-2026. My name is Jennifer Redford. I'm a youth services consultant at the Idaho Commission for Libraries, and I organize the challenge with the help of a lot of people. Um, and I wanted to quickly introduce my colleague Dawn Hall, who is also on the call today from Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program. And I'm hoping Dawn will be able to talk a little bit more about her organization and how they're supporting us when we can talk about it now. So, one of the reasons we do the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge is so that you all as librarians have a tool to connect with youth and teens in your libraries. So yes, we want kids reading books and we want them connected with books and doing all those great things. But more importantly, we want them asking you about the books they want to read and connecting with you. So it is kind of a relationship building tool. And we know that building relationships with kids is one way to invest in their future because I think all of us here want the best for the kids in our communities and really see all of the teens that come into our libraries as having bright futures. So we're really excited to partner with Ideal because they share some of these values about investing in Idaho's kids. So I'm just going to give Dawn a few minutes maybe to talk about Ideal, and then later I will tell you kind of more concretely how they're supporting us. Dawn?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for listening in. I'm Dawn Hall. I'm the executive director of Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, but our name is a bit of a misnomer. We're not just for college anymore. You can use us for K through 12, higher education, for 2-year, 4-year graduate schools, apprenticeships, trade schools, and now certifications. You can use us for room and board, for computers, supplies, in addition to tuition. In all of those areas, you can use us nationwide and even internationally in some cases. And we are Idaho's official 529 savings program. So we are part of the state of Idaho, and any money you put into an account, you get a tax deduction for that amount that you put in, and then it grows both state and federal tax free. So it's a great way to set someone up for their future. Studies show that children who have as little as $25 in specifically a college savings account are 7 times more likely to go on to some kind of higher education and 7 times more likely to finish. So just even that $25 has a big impact. And we're hoping through this sponsorship and through some other work we hope to do with you all in the future that you will help us spread the word about the importance of saving for education in Idaho.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thank
Um,
you.
so super excited to have Ideal as a partner this year. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and dive into the nuts and bolts, everything you're going to need to know to have a successful Idaho Teen Reading Challenge year. Okay, so first we're going to start with the Idaho Commission for Libraries website. I'm just going to take you on a tour of how exactly to get to the Teen Reading Challenge webpage. So when you are on libraries.idaho.gov, you can click on Youth Services. And that's going to take you to a menu of all of our youth services programs. And I know you know there's a lot there. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom in the tweens and teens section, there is the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge. So just click on the tile and that will take you to the page. I'm going to enlarge this because we're going to spend the next few minutes here. Um, So the challenge is pretty straightforward. This is a reading challenge. So we're asking kids to read a certain amount to achieve the challenge. And the amount that we're asking them to read is 8 books in 7 months. And this is just for kids in Idaho. Um, you'll see last year we had 62 libraries that had at least one child or one youth finish the challenge. And they're from all over the state. I have them pinned here on this map. And we had more than 690 Idaho teens from those 62 libraries complete the challenge. Um, the way the challenge works is it runs from October 1st through April 30th. So anytime between October 1st, 2025 and April 30th, 2026, Teens are challenged to read 8 books and they can choose from 10 different categories to read in. We give them more than the 8. We give them 10 categories instead of 8 categories in case there happens to be a category in that list that just really doesn't work for a teen for whatever reason. We don't want to make this something that they feel like um, is a chore or they don't want to participate in. So we give them a little flexibility there to promote youth choice and voice. So this year's categories, and the categories do change every year, are read a book that features food. So that can be a book that has maybe a food in the title, food on the cover. It's about cooking or food. It could be a cookbook. So a book that features food in some way. Read about something that scares you. That is very broad. So that will cover your kids that love horror and thrillers, but that could also be, I'm really scared of the future or college or something else that intimidates me and I want to learn more about it. This could be a nonfiction book about like spiders. If I read a book about spiders, I would count that as for this category because spiders kind of scare me. Um, so it's broad. Hopefully, it's pretty flexible. Read a book featuring mythology. So that could be different mythologies from around the world, indigenous mythologies. So that's again a pretty broad, that could be folk and fairy tales too. So mythology. Read a book about something you love. So something that scares you, something you love. And this could be something you're interested in. Um, Maybe a person, it could be about families, anything that you love. Read a book with a non-human main character. This was requested by many of you last year during the surveys that we sent out. And so we chose it as a category for this year. So that's when your character is a robot, is an animal, is maybe an omniscient presence, just not a human, not a person. Uh, Read a book recommended by a librarian. Believe it or not, we have been doing this challenge. I think this is the 5th year. We've never had this category, but we want the kids to get a recommendation from you. So read a book recommended by a librarian. Read a graphic novel. We have done this category before, but it's backed by popular demand. Read a book with a historical setting. So that could be historical fiction, but it could also be nonfiction about a historical place. Pretty wide there. Read a book you find on the bottom shelf. So that is books on the bottom shelf of your library. We know they don't get checked out a lot because they're so low down there. So here's a good chance to get some of those books circulating. And then, as always, our 10th category is free choice. Free choice. Read whatever you want. And so this really does let kids read something they really want to read as part of the challenge. To participate in the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge, it's a pretty straightforward registration form. There's a link all throughout this website to fill out a form to register your library. When you register your library, you are going to let me know about how many printed materials to send you. Um, we did have a reduction in our budget this year federally, and that affected this program. So I wasn't able to buy as many printed materials for you, but I will let you know what I can send you. And that is, let's see, the book. Everybody can get bookmarks. I did get a bunch of those printed, and this is what they look like. Oops. Here we go. My little screen thingy. There we go. The tracking flyer. This is what it looks like this year. And then a poster, which basically looks like the front of the tracking flyer. And then I will also send everybody posters for our digital art contest, which I will talk about in a moment. In past years, we have also sent little reading journals that we've had printed out. We weren't able to print those out this year and send them to you, but we do have those available for you to download and print out yourself. And we have instructions on how to print them out. And instead of the quarter page journal, it's like a half page thing. So you don't have to figure out how to like manipulate and fold the pages correctly. It's a pretty straightforward fold on that one, but we weren't able to print those out for you. So if you do have kids who like the reading journal, um, feel free to print those out and I'll show you where to find those. And then I am hoping to find stickers, but I'm having a little hiccup with the printers. So hopefully we'll be able to send you stickers. They probably won't be as fancy as last year's stickers, but they will be something. So after you register, if you're not already registered, let me know how much of everything to send to you. And then in mid-September, so maybe as early as next week, if we get everything in, we will start mailing things out to libraries so that you have it to get going on October 1st. But you can register all through anytime through October 15th. So we will send you materials. So you register your library, you get your materials, you advertise it and get kids to get going. If you need more materials, I can send you what I have. And then it's kind of up to you how you want to engage with kids after that. Again, this tool is for you to build relationships with kids in your community. So you're going to know best the best ways to do that. And if you're in a school library, that's going to look different than if you're in a public library. Um, but we are hoping that you will continue to share information about the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge all the way through April. Something new this year is that we want you to keep track of um, how many teens read at least one book as part of the challenge. So this year, we really wanted to make sure that every book counts because we know from the feedback we've gotten from you from the past few years that a lot of teens will start the challenge, they'll read a couple books, and then they'll drop off and life gets in the way. And we really want to honor every child who participates and that their participation matters. So even reading one or two books will count towards some statistics that we collect. So what I would like for you to do this year is collect that data on um, how many kids finish how many books. So you'll notice on the tracker here, we have little every book counts, and this is where they can write down the books they read, what category it satisfies, and the date they finished it. And even if they don't make it all the way to the top of the mountain and finish the 8 books, however many books that they finished will be counted toward the statistics at the end. Um, to help you kind of track that, I have just a very simple Excel spreadsheet that you can download. And there's 2 tabs here. One is called basic and one is called fancy. And if you want to just do a basic um, spreadsheet, you can just keep track of how many total kids finished 3 books, finished 4 books, finished 5 books. And then it will just total up your total participants at the end. And you can just turn that in with your final report. If you want to get fancy, you can, track that by student and which student finished how many books, and then it will add it up at the bottom. So up to you how you want to track it. But we do want to know how many kids finished 1 book, how many kids finished 2 books, etc. Um, let's see. So it's kind of on you to engage with the teens, talk to them about books, talk to them about what they're reading, and help them find really cool books to read. And then also keep track of how many kids have finished how many books. Then in May, I will send you a very short evaluation where you just tell me that data and give me some feedback about the materials and the program. And then that piece is done. And have fun. But there's one more thing that we have for you this year that I think is also going to be a lot of fun. And that is the digital badge art contest for teens. So last year we had a group of your peers who convened to talk about ways to improve the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge and promote it to teens. And one of the ideas that they really were interested in pursuing was this concept that in addition, whenever a teen finishes a category, they can earn a badge, right? Like they get something for that category that's unique and part of that category. So we also thought it would be fun for the teens themselves to come up with the artwork for the badges. So in October, and only in October, we will run a digital badge art contest. And what we're asking is that teens create a piece of artwork that could be a badge that we will later turn into like a digital um, object that you can either print off and put like on a sticker or a label, or you can assign it to a kid somehow. You will have the digital files to do with what you would like, and award kids a badge when they finish a certain category. So we have this poster here. That's the wrong one. There we go. Um, So a teen can pick a category or they can make artwork for more than one category. They can draw it or paint it or design it digitally, but they need to make sure that it can be like scanned. And if it's like a physical piece of art, like a drawing or something, they need to make sure that it can be scanned and emailed to me. And then we made into like a small badge. So they need, if it's like a really like detailed drawing, that's not going to make a very good digital badge. So a couple things to keep in mind for the teens. So make sure it looks good when printed small, like on a sticker or a button. If you have a button maker, you can definitely use the digital artwork to create a button for teens who finish the different categories. Um, those are due back, or those need to be turned in on October 31st. After the challenge starts on October 1st, I will send all the participating libraries a link to submit the artwork to me, and I will assemble a group of people to kind of come up with who has the best piece of artwork for each badge. And the winner in each category will get a $25 credit from Ideal. So it's really cool because like we said, kids who, or like Don said earlier, kids who even have a $25 savings in a college savings account are 7 times more likely to go on to higher education and to college. So um, that is and the winning badges will eventually be shared statewide. So the suggested artwork size, that's a good question. So I would say a 2 inch or 3 inch diameter is probably as big as you're going to want to get. Um, we will try to do some magic on our end to make things scalable. So if you have like a 1 inch button maker, we can scale it down to a 1 inch button. Um, but yeah, so it's the first time we've done this, so I am interested to see how the logistics work out with the artwork. Uh, but it should be interesting. Um, I'm gonna bop back into the oh, one more thing on the web page, and then we'll come back to the art contest and we'll like review everything really quickly and ask any questions. On the web page, all of the materials that we've created to support the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge are available for you to download as a PDF, or there is a Canva template if you would like to add your own library's or school logo or whatever you need to do to it. Um, so we have bookmarks, we have the tracking sheets, the reading journals, and again, those are half page fold journals, and there's printing instructions for them if you want to print them out for your teens and fold them up. Promotional posters and the digital badge art contest. So if you run out of anything and I run out of anything, we have it right there, and you can, it's nice to have the Canva templates too so that you can go in and make your own edits. We're hoping to get some promotional videos again this year. Those are TBD. And that is all the information. So I'm going to recap everything I just said in like 2 minutes, and then I'm going to ask if you have any questions. So, Idaho Teen Reading Challenge. Uh, Teens are uh, challenged to read 8 books in 7 months. It runs from October 1st through July, or October 1st through April 30th. I have no idea what month it is. October 1st, April 30th. Um, teens can choose from 10 different categories, and they only need to read 8 books from the 10 categories to complete the challenge. However, all reading counts. And so we're asking that you, as librarians, track those kids who start the challenge and don't finish. Just every book that is read as part of the challenge now is going to become part of the statistics. So we do want you to track teens that only read 2 books, 3 books, and however way you want to track it. We're just going to ask you at the end, how many teens finished 1 book? How many teens finished only 2 books? How many teens finished only 3 books, etc., until we get to all 8 books. We really want to see how many teens are participating and doing at least some reading, and we want to honor their reading and that all reading counts. In the month of October, teens can also participate in a digital badge art contest. So they can take any of those 10 categories and create a piece of artwork based on the category that will be judged, and we'll pick the best representations of the categories from each of those categories. And those teens will receive the teens of the winning entries will receive a $25 ideal credit. We are also going to send you some flyers and posters and reminders about Ideal throughout the course of the challenge so that you are able to make sure that teens are connected with that resource if it is something that makes sense for them and their families. Um, the categories, once again, are features food, something that scares you, mythology, something you love, non-human main character, recommended by a librarian, graphic novel, historical setting, bottom shelf, and free choice, read whatever you want. Um, at the end of the day, we hope that this challenge is a great tool for you to connect with teens and youth and get them excited about reading. I am also hoping to host a couple of webinars later in the winter that are more specifically focused on encouraging a love of reading for school agers and teens and really helping kids, finding ways for you as librarians to help kids read for fun and for pleasure more. But I don't have dates yet and I don't know who my speakers are yet. So I just want you to know I'm working on it and it's something that is coming. One last thing, I will be putting out a call in October for people to participate on another kind of advisory group for the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge. So if you are interested in participating in that this year, um, just be on the lookout for that email. Okay, that was a lot. Please let me know what your questions are. What do you want to know?
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey.
I seem to have all the questions today. Um, I know in times past there have been rewards or your library can get books if so many
Mhm.
teens participate or whatever. Is there anything like that going on this time?
Uh, as of now, no. Let me tell you what happened last year. Is so we have in the past done a drawing. So every teen that completed the challenge earned your library like an entry into a drawing to win free books for your library. And what happened last year was right as the challenge was ending was when the federal funds that fund this project were like cut off. And so I literally couldn't even buy the books for last year's challenge because we were worried about making payroll. Um, that got resolved, thankfully. But the I am hesitant to uh, offer anything because the funding now and the funding on April 30th may look a little different. So um, as of now, I don't have anything to offer your libraries as an incentive to participate uh, through the whole challenge. We do hope that the art contest will be, kind of well received with that carrot of having the potential of getting a $25 ideal credit. Um, but yeah, I don't have anything.
No, that's
Sorry.
great. But we could offer something also
For
on our site.
sure. And, maybe we'll do like a lit or a webinar kind of describing that because there are a lot of libraries that do have kind of taken the challenge and they do their own thing for it. So if they have leftover free books from summer reading, they'll give out a book for every time a kid completes something, or they'll have a bookmark or a button or something. And you can definitely use the badges and the digital badges to create something for teens. Like I can see people just printing those out on a bookmark or something, and you get a bespoke bookmark that you only get if you finish this challenge, right? Or this book in the challenge. So yeah, thanks. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have not already registered your library for materials, please do so soon. Like I said, we're hoping to mail those out next week or the week after. Depends on how quickly we get them from the printer. And I'm really excited about this year's challenge. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about the art contest, and we're really excited to partner with our colleagues at Ideal as well. Hopefully, you'll be seeing their messaging a little bit more um, because we know that you are really great connectors to the kids in your community, and we know that you want them to have every possible chance to have a positive and amazing future. And that can start with as little as $25 in an ideal savings account. So um, the investment in kids is important, and we all know that. So thanks to Ideal for sponsoring the digital badge contest and for being such great partners this year. Thanks to the Institute for Museum and Library Services, which is our other funding partner and funded all of the materials this year. And thanks to all of you, because I know you are going to do great things with the teens this year. And I really hope we're going to get some of those books moving off the bottom shelf because it's going to be great. Okay, I will stop our recording